The beginning. The clock showed 11:55 p.m. as Kareem sat on his worn-out couch in his small apartment. The place was utterly silent, with only the ticking of the wall clock breaking the stillness. Kareem, a freelance programmer, usually spent his nights uneventfully. But that night, something felt different. Something strange lingered in the air. Suddenly, his phone rang, jolting him from his thoughts. He glanced at the screen and saw an unknown number. Hesitant, he answered. "Hello? Who's there?" There was no response. Just a suffocating silence, followed by faint whispers barely audible. Kareem strained to make out the words, but couldn't. Moments later, the call ended. "Weird," he muttered, trying to convince himself it was probably a wrong number. But this time, there was a sound, weak and cracked, yet clear enough to send chills down his spine. 10 minutes passed. The clock struck midnight. While Kareem attempted to return to his work, the phone rang again. The same unknown number. He hesitated for a moment before answering. "Hello? Who is this? Why did you leave me there? What? Who are you?" Kareem shouted, trying to make sense of what was happening. But the call ended abruptly again. Doubts started creeping into his mind. Did this person know him? Was it a prank from a friend? But he couldn't think of anyone who might do that. A strange sense of unease began to take hold. Kareem tried to ignore it, but he noticed something odd. Faint noises echoed around the apartment. It sounded like footsteps, but he couldn't pinpoint their source. He stood still, listening intently, but suddenly the lights went out. "Damn it," he muttered, grabbing his phone to light the room. As he searched for the problem, the phone rang for the third time. The same number. His hands trembled, but he answered. "Who are you? What do you want?" This time, the voice was clearer. "Don't you recognize me? You left me to die alone." Kareem's heart raced. The words struck his memory like a slap. Before he could respond, the voice continued. "Come to the next room." There was a small room in his apartment he never used. It was cluttered with old belongings he inherited from his parents. The door was always shut, and he never felt the need to open it. But now, everything had changed. Kareem approached the room, his hands shaking and heart pounding violently. When he touched the doorknob, a chilling coldness engulfed him. He slowly opened the door to reveal complete darkness. Using his phone's flashlight, he illuminated the space. The room looked as it always had, filled with dusty boxes and discarded furniture. But he noticed something new. Words scrawled on the wall in shaky handwriting. "It's your fault." As Kareem tried to make sense of the message, memories began flooding his mind. Fragmented images of his past invaded his thoughts. The car accident years ago, that rainy night, the screeching of tires losing grip on the road. He remembered his friend, Mar, screaming his name and his desperate attempt to pull him out of the car. But Kareem had been scared. The sound of an approaching car forced him to run, leaving his friend behind. "This can't be real. It's just a nightmare," he told himself, his voice trembling. The phone rang again, snapping him back to his horrifying reality. He grabbed it and answered with a shaky voice. "I'm sorry. I didn't know what to do." This time, the voice was closer. "You knew what to do, Kareem. You chose to save yourself." Suddenly, the room began to change. The dusty walls transformed, now covered with images of the accident. Every picture showed Kareem running away while Mar screamed for help. The images moved like live scenes, haunting him. Amid the chaos, a shadow appeared on the wall. It resembled a human figure but was distorted and unclear. The shadow moved closer to Kareem, and as it did, the pictures became sharper, turning into vivid, loud memories. "Why did you leave me?" Kareem was trapped. The shadow grew more defined, taking the form of Mar. He stared at Kareem with eyes full of anger and pain. "Mar, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I couldn't think clearly at the time." Mar responded, his voice calm but filled with resentment. "You couldn't think? Then let me help you feel what I felt." The shadow moved closer. A chilling cold engulfed Kareem, as though his life was being drained from him. The surrounding noises grew louder and more chaotic. "I'm sorry. Please, forgive me." The shadow stopped suddenly. Silence fell, heavy and oppressive. After a moment, Mar's voice returned, filled with a bittersweet tone. "You could have come back. But you chose to run. Now you'll stay here with me." The shadow disappeared abruptly, leaving the room completely empty. But Kareem was nowhere to be seen. All that remained was his phone, lying on the floor, its screen displaying a missed call from an unknown number. The next day, Kareem's neighbors found his apartment door wide open, but the place was empty. There was no trace of him, except for the words on the wall. "Everything begins and ends here."